Okay, hello everybody. Let's make sure the microphone's working and picking me up all right. Okay, we'll fix that. Okay, let me know how that is. I definitely want to be able to hear the music, but I want to be able to hear my voice better.
You went
too far?
Yeah,
Okay.
too far in the music.
Thank you. We want the Goldilocks volume. How does this one sound? Yeah? Okay, great. Okay, everybody. So today, what we're going to be doing is first we are going to choose something to paint. And I want to make sure that my camera's actually working. Let's try this again. Because right now, you are not seeing what I want you to be seeing, which is a pretty painting. Let's see, phone cam. We will turn it off and back on. Gio, what am I supposed to do to make the phone camera work? Properties. Okay. Yeah.
Make sure the phone is started and
Oh, I took the network off earlier, remember?
yeah, that's probably.
Okay. One moment, everybody. Great. That makes a lot more sense. Connected to Wi-Fi. Start. Everybody cross your fingers. Any minute now. Yay! Okay, thank you. He's so helpful. Okay, there we go. Now, last thing I really need to do, I have some paints here, I have my paper. You know what? These flowers that we did last time are actually really pretty. As usual, I was hating them last time, but they're pretty now, so we're good with it. So, we have to choose something to put on bookmarks. So, on Facebook, I'm a member of this group that is Free Reference Photos for Artists. And what happens here is we upload our photos that we think could possibly help other artists. And we are giving our consent to the artists to use whatever we upload as long as they are, using it to make their own art, not just taking our photograph and, putting it on the wall and selling it or something. So I love to browse through what people come up with here, because even when I don't have a good plan, I can come on here and see what other people think would make a good painting. And then people also upload things like this beautiful hydrangea. Are those called hydrangeas? I don't know. These hibiscus, that's the word I was after. People also upload things like this, which is their artwork. And it's really neat. Lots of times they cite the person who uploaded reference photos, but not necessarily. Not necessary. So yeah, I love to see other people's art, and I love to see other people's inspirational photos. But I was kind of thinking that I would do a sunflower today. So I'm gonna search for sunflower in the group. Oh, that's a beautiful piece. Okay, and then look at some reference photos here. And I want to pull up something. Oh, that one's cute. This one has a little chipmunk. I want to pull up something that just kind of shows me sunflowers up close and personal. Ooh, this is pretty. Okay, no, I like this one. Yeah, this is beautiful. Let's make this full size. And so since I'm doing a bookmark, I could do like this little section over at the left. I think that'd be really beautiful, with the sunflowers in front of the barn. Or I could do just a couple sunflowers on a bookmark, in not a landscape way, just in a here's a sunflower, you know, kind of floating there. Ooh, that one's really pretty. Okay. Yeah, these are all gorgeous. I wonder where these were taken. We usually try to cite where photos were taken as well and stuff like that, but I like this one. You can see the leaves really well, and I'm gonna need that because I want my bookmark to have basically these colors. I really like the blue sky, the white clouds, the yellow, and the green of the sunflower. So we'll go for that. I might add a couple little ladybugs on mine, but let's keep this reference photo up for a while and see where that takes us. Okay, so when I come back here to my own painting, have my, I think I'm going to work on this bookmark here. I'm going to go ahead and have kind of my cloth over the top of this one. I think I'm just going to go in with a Sharpie, okay? This is going to be kind of a stained glass approach, because the Sharpie bold lines are gonna look kind of different. Let's say, okay. I'm also, one more thing, since I haven't stuck this tape down since last week, gonna make sure that it's still feeling like it wants to be tape. Okay. I'm gonna draw the center of this sunflower. Then I'm gonna look at how large the petals are in comparison to the actual center of the flower. It looks to me like the petals are about half the diameter. So what is that, the radius? Yeah, the radius. I think that's half of a diameter. So about the radius to 1.5 times the radius. And on the bottom, where they're kind of coming out towards us, they appear shorter. So, man, I can't decide if I want to do these in kind of a glaze over. No, that's all right. There are lots of bookmarks. So if I'm going about that far, I'm gonna go just like that. Check it out. We did one. Then I'm gonna just start putting other ones that don't have to be perfect. The Sharpie looks like it's bleeding a little bit more than I thought it would, but that's okay. Then up at the top, I want to do a little bit longer than that. So I'll pretend that if it was going to go, it would go up to about here. Okay. And over here, I want to kind of split the difference. So go about to here. Also have mentioned that they're actually, the petals look like they're thicker down here at the bottom, but I already kind of screwed that up with this petal, so I'm just gonna fix it on that one and keep going. have the petals on the front. I have to decide. I think I do want to have the stem coming down here. And that means that I'll need more petals behind. So this one here will come out this way. Kind of like that. And we'll have this one. I'm trying to imagine another circle that's kind of lopsided, but being around this, where the edges of the petals come to. They're pretty varied. Looks like the ones up in front are a little bit shorter in appearance. I'm going to make one that comes out here further. And I might put a couple back here. Wanted to get those in before I put the other side of the stem. Let's go ahead and do one out to about here. This one can go about here. Very pretty. This is going to be simple but beautiful bookmark. This one looks kind of floppy and weird, but it doesn't bother me. It's fine. This one's going to go off the page a little bit. Now another one. And I'm also trying not to bisect the space between two petals exactly. So I could do these, but I want it to look a little bit more realistic than that. So maybe I'll put two petals between these two, you know? Like this. But again, you've got to keep in mind that one is in front of the other. We're gonna have one coming down like that. There we go. And then this one can come up like that. And we really don't care how far that goes, except it helps me to imagine that they're coming out to about here and decide where that petal would kind of fold back in and where it wouldn't. Now these to me are looking a little bit more patterned than I want them to look. So this one I'm going to start over here right at the edge. And I won't actually show the outer side of it. And I'll go out just like that. And then I'll have another one coming off like that. So it looks like they're a little bit more crowded in there. These are, let's see, kind of going like that. Doesn't matter if I draw on my tape here. So what I've done, this paper is actually 140-pound cold press Arches paper. And that really only matters in that depending on the kind of paper you're using, certain marks are easier to make. I'm going to say that there's one coming right up here. That looks kind of cool. And then we've got one coming down like this. We'll say its bottom comes right in there. Nice. And now that looks pretty good. I'm going to use my Sharpie to also make... No, I was considering little black dots, but I'm changing my mind. Okay. Now I want to draw a stem for this leaf. I think I want to look at... I do want the leaf to be coming out from behind here, like it is on the actual photo. So I'm looking at the texture of the leaf. But I want my leaf to fold a little bit more. And sunflower leaves kind of go straight up and down like this, and then down to their okay, let's see, that's coming up like that, and then we will have it do here. Yeah, that'll be pretty. And then I'm gonna do another one of the veins that's right here. And this is all pretty stylized, so I'm not worrying too much about how realistic it looks. I mean, nothing has big black lines around it, but if I was going for realism, I definitely wouldn't be outlining it like this. I think I will have another sunflower now that's, you know, I see this sunflower over to the right. Here, I'll move my cursor. This one here that my cursor is on now. I want to see petals coming from that one. So I'm gonna look kind of at their shape a little bit and just put them in here because I want it to look like it's facing downward again. I only need a couple to really get the point across. I also really like the way that the shape of these petals makes it, you can kind of feel that that sunflower is pointing downward. So we've got that one, and then we've got this kind of coming out here. Another tip right there so that it looks more okay, good. Then let's look at this leaf. I'll move my cursor again. I'm gonna look at this leaf. It has a really cool shape to it. I'm a little bit intimidated to just draw it straight out with a Sharpie, but I'm going to. Because it's just a bookmark. And doesn't look like I want it to, then life will continue. Crazy thought, I know, but true. Okay. So here, I love they call this foreshortening. The way that this leaf is pointed straight out towards us, to where if this was a three-dimensional thing, it would be closer to us than the back of the leaf would be. Although it's a little bit hard to see what exactly that shape is over on the left. So I'm gonna look at the line. The line goes up and down. So I'm just gonna make that shape. And then we can see that the line coming out towards us actually comes down to about here. And is the center line of the leaf. And it curves a little bit. And it does this. And it goes swooping back up like that. We'll have another tip of a petal coming in like that, just for fun. Just for funsies. Okay, let's see. If this is this high, then the tip of the leaf I actually want to be about here. And one of the only ways that I have of showing that this is the tip is the direction that these funny little edge ruffles are going. So there we go. Now that's coming out towards us. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish if this was coming down here, I'm going to keep going here. And it might have, yeah, we'll just have it keep going down here. Yeah, these would be really pretty colors. Okay, now I have to decide if I want sunflowers in the background, or if I just want beautiful blue sky and some clouds in the background, or if I want to do a little barn back here. The barn might be kind of neat. We can always get back to this picture. Let's go backwards to this gray barn. I think I want to add the barn. I like the barn. So we're gonna have I think it will actually be really neat if I don't do the barn with this black marker around it. So I'm just gonna do that with pencil here real quick. My pencil. Okay, actually, here's a pencil that is not dull. That's nice. Okay, we're gonna put the barn in. I don't want the barn to be perfectly centered here. I want it to be maybe here. And it has this upright on it. I'm happy just drawing the whole upright. The barn is very gray, so I'm not too worried about my pencil lines messing anything up. Although I do think I'm going to make it a little bit more exactly straight since the sunflowers are so organic in their shape. I want the building to be pretty not so organic. Okay. Are we gonna do this? Am I really gonna be this crazy? Yeah, okay, I am. I want it to look right. I want it to look how I want it to look. Which means that I'm actually going to grab a protractor and look at the angle between the upright. It's going to be my straight edge. That'll be my good excuse for using it. I'm not being obsessive, I'm just using a straight edge that happens to be a protractor. We're going to look at the angle between the upright and the roof here. And get roughly, okay, looks like it's hitting right around the 35 mark. So we're going to go out on this side, go to what would be about 35, see where that hits, and draw it. Okay, there we go. I'm also going to give going to erase a little bit of this because art pencils don't have erasers on them, and I usually find myself without all of my drawing supplies. I tend to stick a little kneaded gum on the side of most of my art pencils, and then I use it when I need it, and then I stick it back. So if that helps you out, go for it. I need a cross beam here, but I don't want it to line up with this petal, because when you've got natural things going on there, it looks kind of funny when they line up like that. So we're just gonna go across that way. another one. And then, actually I should go back past the main sunflower. Good, and then I'm gonna do just kind of some sunflowers in the background here, which will be pretty loose. Good. We're gonna add a, I forget what they call it. Window, I guess. This is fun music. I love it. I'm not going to be as exact with the window. And then lastly, I'm going to lift some of that graphite off so that it's not as dark, so that I can still see it to watercolor over it, but I don't have to be worried about the lines showing up. Okay, I think that that's all that I need for now. These are the paints I'm going to be using. They are all Winsor & Newton brand. They are Cotman, which means they are student grade. Cotman is their student grade version. This is my little color key in here. I hate it when the color code takes up your whole plate, so, because I like to obviously mix on there. Hello, cat. She's like, oh my gosh, paint water. Paint water. The cat is coming for paint water. Hi, kitty cat. So, let's start with this pale yellow. I'm gonna mix it up a little. It's kind of a lemon yellow. Gertie, there's no paint in that water yet. She really likes. Here, you want to say hi to the cat? We'll tilt. Here she is, drinking paint water, because it's her favorite thing to do. Right now she's being fooled because there's not even any paint in it. So dramatic and silly. That's what this cat is. We can actually even zoom in on the paint part. Nice. And just gonna go ahead and start to fill these in. Sharpie doesn't run, which is really nice because a lot of inks do. So I can really paint over, excuse me cat, I need to get my brush in there. So I can really paint over the lines with yellow like this. It's not going to obscure the lines. Watercolor has a rating of opacity, and student grade colors like this are usually, well, it depends on the pigment really, but some of them will cover up Sharpie or other dark lines, marks like that. She is still drinking the paint water. Don't know why we're doing this, cat. You're being kind of weird. I'm not being too careful here because the dramatic black lines are making this, you know, appear. You see the edges of the petals whether you want to or not, whether you're thinking about them or not. So I'm just going ahead and filling those in. There we go. Okay. Look at the back real quick. We're gonna go back. The one, okay, that was it. This is the one that we were looking at to draw the sunflower. And so, right now, while that yellow is still wet, I'm going to mix up probably some of this cad red. And I'm gonna mix it with the yellow actually. And just in a few places. I'm gonna go ahead and show that it's darker right around here. And then I'm gonna get my brush wet again and pull that out just a little bit so that it blends. I'm working fairly quickly so that it doesn't dry out, but with paper like this, it tends not to dry as quickly. The cotton papers like this. I'm gonna go ahead and just on a few of them add on a little bit more of the orange in kind of lines. I don't want the lines to be super dark, just adding some color because I think it's pretty. Oh, and if you're interested, what brush is this? This is a Royal and Langnickel brush. That's I think that's Joann's brand. I'm not sure. Really, Joann's tend to... I really like their inexpensive, like kind of value brushes. All right, so I'm looking at the center of the sunflower, and the direct center has kind of a circle inside here, and it looks to me like that circle is mostly kind of a pale green. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of put that in here. I don't want it to be exactly in the center of the sunflower's head here because this kind of helps us see which direction that sunflower head is really facing, and it's kind of facing upward a little bit. So I'm gonna just paint that green in there. And then where I'm getting to wanting to fill in more with my brush, I'm gonna switch brushes. One that I like better. Yes, we'll go with this one. So this is one of my favorites. It is, it used to say along here, silver black velvet, travel edition, or voyage, something like that. It opens up like this, and then you have a full brush. It holds moisture a lot better than some others, and it's also very springy. Okay, so one thing that I want to indicate with this leaf is that the sun is shining through it. So I want it to be a very light yellowish green. So I'm taking some of the green that I already have going on here. Then I'm going to mix some of this yellow with it to where it's really a lime, kind of lime green. Want it to have just the right amount of moisture, so I am dabbing that on a paper towel. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I am moving my brush in the direction that the leaf, that contour lines on that leaf would go. For the most part. I mean, can't quite around the edges of these leaves and stuff. But okay, that's looking pretty good. Want to make sure that I'm getting enough water on there to do kind of a wet and wet. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. It's actually really hard for me to tell how much water I need. I don't often use this paper because it's expensive, but it's so pretty, but it's much more thirsty. It soaks up water, more water than some of the cheaper papers that I use. But at the same time, it stays wet longer. So it's easier to do wet and wet techniques. You don't have to work quite as quickly. And it also is so easy to make the colors blend together. Maybe not easy, but it's easier. So now I'm going to get some of this dark green. And I'm going to just put some right along the edges of that leaf. And let it bleed. There we go. Now we've got that kind of extra glow that's happening over here. I'm not adding too much of the darker green because I don't want it to get dark. Okay, now while the stem of the sunflower is still wet, I'm gonna actually make sure that it is still wet. And want to do the lower part too, although I think I'll probably have it in more shadow so that it doesn't matter as much, but there we go. Now I'm gonna take kind of a I'm gonna take some brown and make a very greenish brown color. There we go. And I'm gonna go up and down on the side of it here. So that the outer edge still has that lighter green, but it looks a little bit more shaped, shall we say, cylindrical. Good. I'm gonna go ahead and make it even more, dab in some even darker darks right along the edges. And then up here under the flower, I'm gonna put in even some more shadows. Same thing behind this one. Gonna put more shadows behind it. And just let it lead. Let it do its thing. This is gonna be drier, which is fine. I'm gonna put a little bit of the dark under that leaf. And now I'm also going to add some lines like this. So I purposefully waited until this part was mostly dry before adding some of these veins. So you can see them, but just barely. And that's about what I was wanting, so that's good with me. Good. Let's do... I'm gonna go ahead and rinse my brush. And then get some more of the bright yellow. That's that lemon yellow. Go ahead and put it in on this sunflower that's up in front. I'm being pretty careful not to touch the paint that's going on that stem because it's still wet enough that it might bleed a little bit. Here I accidentally painted over this leaf and that's too bad, but 'tis done. Okay, again, while that's wet, I'm gonna get a little bit of my, I think this is my Cad Red light. And since these are the outer edges, I don't want, like you can see on this sunflower, I didn't put as much orange on the outside edges, but I want just little bits, hints on these. Make it match. Beautiful. Looks really good. Feeling to see how dry that stem is, because I think I want to come in with some more green. Not too wet. And just give it a darker green along that left side so that it still has all of the variation in color and that shadow. I want the shadow to be a little bit more pronounced down here. There we go. Down here there's the least interference kind of between our eyes and the sunflower, so I kind of want to show that off. Okay. Hey, Armor! Armor, yes, I think I probably will play League later. How are you doing? Oh my gosh, Armor, I played League yesterday and had a crazy game on Vigar. I went like 18 to 11, I think. It was crazy. Okay, I think we're gonna do the sunflowers that are in front of the barn next. And these guys, I'm trying to decide how I should do them. I think I'm gonna go with kind of a weird wet on wet background. I'm gonna first make a color that's kind of it's a brownish yellow because they're gonna be in because they're in the background. I'm gonna just put some yellow places. And might let them bleed here and there. And And then I'm going to take some light green and see if I can get this to look like just generic sunflowers in background. I'm varying from light green to a greenish yellow. Now I'm kind of going around the yellow places. And once it's almost dry, I'll add in some darker places. Okay. Mostly I don't want my darker places up at the top. I'm gonna take in some brown here and make this a brownish green, greenish brown. And I want more darks down at the front here. Oops, I forgot that this side of the background over here. Okay. I'm gonna take some bright yellow again and just indicate sunflower here. We can see this one that's really pretty. And we can almost see the colors. So I'm gonna take a little bit of the cad orange. And then lastly, I'm gonna take a pretty dark brownish red and make some places that are indicating centers of sunflowers here and there. Okay, while I'm at it, I'm gonna do a similar thing with the head of this sunflower. Let's take, I think first I'm gonna do a layer of the pale yellow, because that's the lightest color. With watercolor, you can't really go backwards in value. I mean, if you use a really dark color or that's very low value, it's very difficult to lighten it up. So we're gonna do that. Then when that is semi-dry, I'm gonna start putting some little brown or maybe orangish spots in it. I'm gonna pull some of the, so what I'm doing here is pushing down and soaking up some of that pigment because that got darker than I wanted it to on the edges. Okay, let's address this leaf now. I don't think I'm going to try to tackle the shadows that we can see on this leaf. There we go. I'm not going to try to tackle those shadows because it's hard enough for me to get this foreshortening of the leaf looking right. And I'm pretty sure it's already going to look pretty weird. But you can see that this leaf, where we're seeing the sun shining through the back of it, it's very like bright green. Where the sun is reflecting off the oils of this leaf, we actually see almost white colors in there. and what's actually kind of a coolish green. So I'm gonna get, let's see, I'm just gonna pick this green up from a random place on my palette and make a very, very pale cool green around this leaf. We're gonna say that one is this pale outer edge. And then it kind of comes up here like this. And then it gets to be a warmer green as it kind of comes down in toward that center vein. So I'm going to use a warmer color over here. Warmer meaning this green has more yellow and this cooler green has more blue. I don't even know if my camera's sensitive enough to pick that up. I'll just zoom in on it a little bit. Give it a little bit better light. Good. On the other side, again, it's more of the cool green and almost white. I'm going to get that right here. And move it to right about there. And then where it swoops upward, it looks like it's the warmer green again. I don't know why it is this way, but it is. So I'm gonna let those hues kind of play with each other like that. Now, as this one gets to be drier, I'm gonna take the darker green again and make sure I have kind of a watery version of it and see, maybe draw some veins in here. Because you can see that there are a few of them. And that they're kind of coming up this way. And then over here, we have the warmer green. I'm gonna mix some more of that. Okay. I actually think a dry brush technique might be pretty cool here, so I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna get my brush loaded with this kind of dark green, and then dry it off a little bit because I'm not. And I'm gonna make some of these dry brush strokes. So they call it dry brushing, although that's kind of misleading because you don't want your brush to be dry. When you do dry brush, you want your brush to be moist enough that wherever it hits the paper, it leaves a little bit of paint. But with a cold texture paper like this, the tooth is very coarse, meaning there are chunks of paper that are pointing up and away from the back, from the base. And so you drag your brush just gently along the side so that it hits only the tops of the teeth. Okay, I want to indicate some veins coming out here like this. I'm gonna add some shadow back here. And then I'm gonna add some lighter yellow right along the top and hope that that comes across like I want it to. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve that I'll use in a minute here to help that look like this is coming closer to us, but yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna do some more dry brushing right along this edge. Just a little. And kind of right here. Looks like it's got that texture. Then we're gonna go back to the pretty much straight warm green that goes up here. Where the sun is not reflecting the light, I'm wanting the colors to be, the texture to be smoother. But then I want it to kind of blend into the dry brushing like that, so we'll go with that. I want a couple contour lines here that show what's going on with this, the shape of this leaf. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull that camera back a little bit so we can see more of the whole thing again. And now I'm gonna tackle that barn. So I'm gonna actually go back to our other reference photo. And I'm gonna make a very light gray. So I do have black on this palette, but I really don't use black very much. But I have Payne's Gray, and I really, really like Payne's Gray. So I'm going to actually do kind of a dry brush here on the barn too. No, I'm not. I changed my mind. I'm gonna just do a flat wash on the barn for right now. Okay. I'm gonna let that kind of show the shape around some of these sunflowers. And back here. This is a cute little waltz. I don't know what it's from. Okay, I'm now going to let that dry a little bit. It's reading darker on the bottom because I let it get too, or lighter on the bottom because I let it get too dry there before adding my paint. So, trying to fix that. I'm gonna get just some generic green to put in there. Good. I'm glad I used the straight lines on that. It helps. Hey Nashi, hi! Yes, I am doing more bookmarks. I'm not using the same paints. I'm using different paints because I wanted some more variety and I didn't have enough colors of those other ones. So I'm just painting with the paints I already have. So I drew this sunflower and now we're painting it. This one is, you know, I'm not sure who this is. It's called Waltz of the Sea. It says it's by Eric Buchholz. Buchholz? Buchholz. And it's video game music. But I heard it the other day and I was like, ooh, I'm adding that to my calm, beautiful playlist of video game music. All right, so now that the background is dry, I'm gonna add a little bit more yellows to some of the places that we wanted to read as sunflowers, but I'm using a really yellow green, and I'm probably going to try to darken it up a little bit, at least around the edges of this foreshortened leaf that's facing us. Also going to go get some more of that dark reddish brown. And add it to just a couple places. Because we've already got a really nice kind of abstract background going that I would like a lot, and I don't want to mess it up by adding close detail. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Nashi. I'm glad that you like it too. But this one sunflower that kind of is supposed to look closer, I'm okay with it having a little bit more exaggerated detail, so I'm going to leave those dark brown spots. And I'm gonna add some water to these guys just to lighten them up. Nashi, do you have any requests for what to paint on a bookmark after this sunflower? Because the sunflower is coming along nicely, and man, I bit off more than I could chew with taping off all these bookmarks. It's been good though. It's made me practice on this expensive paper that I'm usually too scared to use. So that's nice. Alright, the barn seems to be dry enough for me to add a little bit more, more detail. So I'm going to use Payne's Gray again. Nashi, I know. I was actually thinking of her when I decided to do sunflowers. I was like, if she shows up, she'll love the sunflower, and that'll be nice. So, I'm going to just give some shade, cast shadow underneath the edge of that barn. Same right under here. Then I'm going to rinse my brush and just gently, with moisture on there, hit the bottom so that it can bleed downward onto some of that barnwood. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of shadow back here as well. Just to kind of show that, just to kind of show that this, I don't remember what this is called. There's a word for it on a barn, but I don't remember. I'm gonna do a similar technique here. I'm putting a darker line on top, and then I'm gonna just let it bleed downward a little bit. It just gives it kind of some three-dimensionality that it might not otherwise have. I'm gonna do the same on the cross piece of the barn. I want to add shadow underneath it, so I'm getting some more Payne's Gray. And Going to make that darker line. Rinse my brush, leave it still slightly damp. And just gently hit the bottom of that so that the paint can pull it downward. Yeah, that is gonna work really well with the dry brush over the top. I think that'll give it some cool barnwood texture. Okay. Let's really, I actually am very pleased with the background of the kind of abstract sunflowers back there. What I still don't like is that this leaf doesn't look particularly foreshortened. So, there are a few tricks that you can do to make things closer to you, or make things appear to be closer to you. One of them is to make the lines darker, and another is to make the lines wider. Not white, but wide, like with a D as in delta. I'm gonna make the tip of this really kind of overly exaggerated to be close. I also am going to make sure that we see that this middle vein gets thinner as it gets closer. Yeah, that helped a little bit. Maybe I can sell you this one, it speaks to you. Oh, the snowy landscape. Did you see it finished? I don't remember if you were there for the final. I do really like it. It's got, I hope that you can see the sparkly snowflakes. I love the sparkles on there. It's fun. But yeah, I'm pleased with it too. And I'd never really tried to do skies in watercolor, and man, some watercolor artists can just do amazing clouds, and I haven't really practiced them, so I'm not so good at them yet. Speaking of clouds, this needs a background. I think we're just gonna go with straight sky blue though. I think there's so little of the sky actually showing that clouds would just be maybe kind of confusing. So I'm gonna go with, none of these look very sky blue to me. Intense blue, I think I'll go with intense blue. I like intense blue, and it'll be pretty. So with this fancy paper, it is going to be as blue as I let it be. So I want the blue on the right side of the sunflower to be every bit the color that's on the left side of the sunflower, because, you know, if this was a picture, that sky back there is all connected. And sure, the blues change, but they change gradually. Gradually. Oh, that's such a pretty color. So I'm trying to work quickly to keep that edge wet. So that it can keep bleeding into the next space and get that gradual variation. Oh, that's a pretty color. Okay. Let's add. And yes, Nashi, if you see any bookmarks here that you want, I'd be happy to sell them to you. I am just doing them for practice. Okay. Okay, I want to make sure that this doesn't look like the shape of a roof is happening here. So I'm trying to pull that paint upwards away from the roof and not apply any in roof lines. Okay. Oh, good. That's such a pretty color, man. You like the one to the right of the sunflower special? Oh, right, yeah. Sorry, I missed some of what you said there. I was focused. And for some reason it doesn't let me back. 1 second. Oh, send invoice. Okay, I will, Nashi. That'll be great. And I have your, definitely have your address and everything, so we can do that. That'll be great. Oh. I am in a winter mood lately, too. It's gotten to be winter here quite suddenly, really. Woo! I dropped my brush. No! Okay, here we go. No harm done. I daubed it off. We're good. Okay. On great big open spaces, it's easy to get the color all the same. And on little tiny spaces, it's easy to at least make the color seem like it's all the same. But on these medium-sized spaces, not as easy. There's a spot right here that got some blue on it that I don't really want to be there. I'm gonna try to wipe it, put some water on there, and lift it out. And luckily, Intense Blue lifts pretty well. Yeah, see, that's beautiful. It's a little bit distracting to have the next bookmark to it and everything, but it looks really good. Okay, what else needs to happen? The barn needs to be much darker. When I look at our reference photo here that we're using, that barn is dark and we want it to contrast. So I'm gonna take the Payne's Gray and mix me up a nice little puddle. The official artist's name for a puddle of paint. A puddle. And I forgot about the little window that we drew in here earlier. So I'm just going to draw one out really quick so that I keep it. Then I'm going to start just scratching down some barn board texture. Because this is nice fancy paper, it's going to glaze over nicely what we already did. Old barnwood has such a cool texture. gonna go ahead and dab on some of those darker darks and let them bleed downward. The texture, the pattern, the area to see pattern over here on the right is so small that it doesn't really matter that much. As long as it isn't different enough from the left side to be distracting, then it really doesn't matter what it looks like. But I am going to make a darker patch right under this that kind of looks like shadow, and then up here right under the eaves as well. Okay, and I'll probably go in again in a bit when that's dry and make it even darker. Oh. So nice to get my art in the mail. Oh, Nashi, I'm so glad. I know that this is not going to be something that you really liked here, and I'm not excited to say it, but I'm probably going to stop streaming art, except at least not regular art streams. I might still do some impromptu art streams when I just really feel like it. But I find that I just, you know, not a lot of people watch it, and I don't always enjoy it because I'm stressed about what to paint, or I might try to start doing an art stream on Wednesdays maybe that's just earlier during the day, you know? I could do art for like a scheduled hour or something, and yeah. Okay, I want to make that window look like it has some, I think I might give it a little cross underneath here. Just kind of make it think that it has a board right in there. It doesn't even have to be exact, it just has to, you're like, oh yeah, barn, got it. Okay, I'm satisfied with everything that's going on up here except for the center of the sunflower. So, oh, sorry. Got a person talking to me. So these photos are on a Facebook group that I'm a part of called Free Reference Photos for Artists. And so this is my Facebook, actually. There we go. And on Facebook, it's really nice because we can all share any photos that we think has something really interesting, really visually interesting, but you don't have to, you still feel like it's getting out there to artists, even when you're like, man, I don't have the time to turn this photo into a gorgeous painting, but maybe somebody else does. And that's nice. I like that. Okay, so I have this kind of warm brownish color again, and I'm going to, let's see, there are almost more, we're gonna see how this works. I don't want to cover up all of the yellow. But sunflowers have this really cool, the way that their seeds are interlocking, and I think that the sunflower here on this page, or in this photo, is like partially pollinated and turning into seeds and partially not. So it's got all of those little tiny places that it wants to be fertilized, pollinated. I don't know if you still call it fertilized when it's pollination. Nashi should know. You're a plant farmer. Of course, it's not your first language, but still. Does it still count as, I mean, when the pollination happens? Yeah. You are. Okay, I'm now gonna get that same red, but I'm going to mix it into the Payne's gray so they've got darker. The question is, do you still call, when a flower is pollinated, do you still call it fertilized? The seeds get fertilized? I don't know if that's just the technical... So I'm doing kind of a spiral pattern here because of the way that you see seeds growing in a sunflower. They don't grow in a spiral, but they grow in a very clear pattern, and I think that my seeds will look more patterned if I have in my mind that I am making a spiral here. Might not work, but it might. Also, I want them to be, the seeds to be the most dense up here along the edges. When a flower is pollinated, it's pollinated. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. The fertilized sounded weird. Sounded not quite right there, so good. Pollinated. So on this flower, I think that what we're seeing is that the inner seeds have become, the inner seeds, wait, no. A flower gets pollinated. The seeds don't get pollinated because they don't turn into seeds unless they've been pollinated. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I understand the idea. I was just wondering, I was postulating that we are looking at a sunflower here that's had either the outside around the rim all has been pollinated already, or they're further along in their development, or the inside is further along in the development, because clearly there's something going on the inside and something going on the outside of this head, but I don't know what it is. Inside are called florets. Okay. I've heard that word. I had to take a botany class in college. Well, I didn't have to. I took because I loved it. The botany class. And it was really cool, but it was more how cultures around the world have used plants medicinally or ritualistic ways and stuff like that. It was really, really cool. But then most of my biology was in animal stuff, not plants. You have ray florets, the yellow petal things, and the disc florets, the inside brown seed-looking things. Okay. Then you can get deeper and deeper with the plant parts. Right. I remember some of those names, but not as many as I feel like I should, probably. I'm going to add some of the Payne's gray now and make some of the little bits around the outside a little bit darker. I think that this is working pretty well in the indicating that this is a sunflower head and that different things are going on with the ray florets versus the, wait, was it ray versus disc? Let's see. Disc, not sure. Oh, yeah. But I think that this is getting across that there are two different types of things going on in here, even though they are all still seeds. Nashi, by the way, yesterday, thank you for lighting incense for my mom. I think that was really sweet of you. And she was fine. She said she was actually really impressed with some of the people at the polls and how they were not not belligerent like they have been in the past, and they were, you know, doing their best to kind of get along. And that's nice, because dang, in the past when I've worked polls, it's been not as much fun as that. She said that yesterday people really kind of gave her faith in humanity with how they were, new voters were turning up and voting, and that's nice. And the incense I lit made me sneeze many times. Oh, I'm sorry that you were allergic to the incense. In a baggie and you don't know what scent it was. You know, when I was a teenager, I decided that I would... I mean, I think you use incense in a religious way there, correct? My religion doesn't use incense, but I've always thought that it was such a cool idea, and you could watch the smoke and it smells so pretty, and so when I was a teenager, I decided I would get into incense, and I remember buying a whole bunch. There was this place in town that I could go, and they had all these different scents, and you could just pull them out of individual little places. And I got so many. And then the first one that I lit, I got a migraine. And I have not ever been able to have smelly stuff like that because of my migraines. And I was so annoyed. I tried multiple times. Really, I did the same thing with perfume, because all the girls are, you know, when you're a teenager and they're like, you've got to find your signature scent and all that, which is a little bit crazy, but it's, you know, part of trying to find yourself when you're a teenager. And so I would try perfume after perfume, hoping that I would find one of them that would not give me migraines, but no luck. And then finally I just had to realize that you can be who you are regardless of what perfume you do or do not wear. Okay, I'm gonna use some of this brown along the left side of the sunflower's stalk. I want it to be more, I want a higher contrast between it and what's going on in the background. That will help it appear closer to the viewer. Also, it's gonna bleed really cool into the green that I just laid down there, because this paper is nice paper. You are Buddhist, but for me it's more about being intentional with what you are wanting. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Nashi, thank you. It's kind of intentionally sending good feelings into the world. Okay. Let's see. To me, this leaf looks good as far as the sun is shining through it. But I want it to be a little bit more vibrant of a color. So I think I'm going to get my sap green. I haven't really used sap green on this piece yet. However, the green that I've been mixing is really pretty sap green. So this should mix well with it. I'm going to go ahead and put down a pretty heavy layer of the sap green along the edge. Then I'm going to add some yellow to it. Come on, yellow. And use that yellow to work into the rest of the leaf. And down the stem. Okay, I'm gonna get a darker green now. I think this is called Hooker's Green Dark. give it a few leafy strokes going up in this direction. And that should kind of blend up. Yeah, that's pretty. I like that better. It stands out more. Okay, as for this one, still trying to figure out how to make this leaf look like it's coming towards me. And I think the answer might be the same thing that I was kind of doing up here. I'm gonna actually lift out a little bit of this because it's getting darker than I thought it was going to. So I'm washing off my brush till it's clean and damp, and then I dab off some of the water onto my napkin here. And it's actually a paper towel, not a napkin, but okay, there we go. Alright, so another cool trick about making things look closer to you is making them darker. I don't know if that's going to work on something like this leaf, but I guess we're going to find out. So I'm going to use this warm sap green here on the left again. And then I was using the cooler green on the right. And then I'll go ahead and try a dry brush technique over here to make it a little bit darker, closer to us. And I might be able to lift up. I don't know, it kind of comes across that it's coming towards us. I just don't know how to indicate that. That's okay. Oh, you remember once you took a train from Sofia, Bulgaria to the Black Sea coast to Varna, Bulgaria. Huge fields of sunflowers, miles after miles of them. Oh, that would be so pretty. This... I planted sunflowers in my garden this year, and this was the first year I really had my own flower garden because I've never had a house before. That was just mine, and so I've always planted plants in pots and stuff, but I've never had them. And so I planted some really beautiful sunflowers that were different varieties and had different colors, and some of them were this really pretty dark orange, almost pink, and so dark and so pretty. And everybody around here, you know, cuts down their plants when they're done blooming, and it's, you know, fall now, and so all of the leaves on the trees have started to fall, and the sunflowers look kind of like dead plant. Well, I mean, they are dead plants, but I leave them there because I've been watching the little birds come, and they sit on the heads of the sunflowers outside my window, and they pick out and eat the seeds, and I think that that's awesome. And it makes me feel a little bit insecure that my garden looks messier than other people's gardens around here. And my husband was even like, the sunflowers look kind of ratty. Should we cut those down? And I was like, but the little birds come and they eat all the seeds and they sit there and they're so cute flitting around. So I don't know what the right answer is there. I think it's really good for the birds to have something like that, especially as winter progresses and it gets harder and harder for them to find food. So here I'm just trying to bring down the value overall on these barn boards. I think this is working pretty well too. It looks like I mean, old barnwood. I just love how its color, and I'm trying to keep that kind of some texture. Let me see if I can get it to kind of go down now also. That's pretty. I like it. I don't want it to look super detailed. So where I dry brushed here a little bit, I'm dabbing with more of the belly of my brush, which still has some moisture in there. And that's letting it kind of bleed outward. I want to make sure that the shape is, the shape of the gray here is what's defining the shape of the sunflowers that are behind it. So I want to make sure that I've got the kind of rounded shapes around yellow spots and less well-defined shapes around the green spots, just to help the viewer's eye see what I want it to see. Okay, I'm getting too hot. I'm gonna have to take off my jacket. The train was going very slowly so you could see them easily. Oh, that sounds really, really pretty. I would love to go see that. I actually didn't look at where this reference photo is from. I just realized I painted over our little horizontal board here. So I'm gonna see if I can get it wet and strategically dab off some of it. Again, it doesn't have to be very accurate here on the right where it's such a small little hole. Let me see if the photographer showed us or told us where this was. Went to a sunflower patch today, thought I would share the pictures I took. Made me happy. They give someone an artistic vision and joy. Sarah Wright Unruh. It's hard to say. You might be able to see real quick where she's from. Oh, so many of those pretty sunflowers. Nope, she didn't say where they were. But I'll make sure that when I, that I'll take a picture of this bookmark and share it in this group. And I'll tag her in it so that she can see it. She'll probably enjoy that. I would if I was her. I could ask her. Hi. I'm painting a book. I can't speak. A bookmark inspired by these. They're gorgeous. Where was this sunflower patch? There we go. And now she'll tell me. Hi, Bracood, how are you? Oh, my goodness. This is such a beautiful piece of music. Okay. Tired, another 14-hour day. Dang, Bracood. Oh, Bracood, I meant to call you yesterday. I was thinking about it, but I just... Man. Life is just crazy sometimes. And it has been that way for me as well. Let me make sure that this is going on. Yeah, Nasty Bracood has a demanding job. He drives all over the northwest coast. And it's a little bit insane. Okay. Every week. Brakud, all that I can say is that I hope you're learning lots of things from audiobooks. I'm gonna darken these up. Oh, Brakud, I wanted to let you know I'm probably going to stop streaming art on a regular basis. This will be my last regularly streamed art one. Oh, Brakud, I saw a picture of a bear the other day and I was like, that is the coolest picture. I think it actually came up on the background of my my Microsoft background thing that just puts it up there, and I took a picture with my phone and was like, man, this is a bear that Brakud needs a painting of. I don't know if I can make it blue, but I will try. When I get there, it will be. But while I am going to stop my regular streaming of art, I am also going to make a YouTube channel besides the one that I currently have that is specifically devoted to art. And hopefully I can paint some things and upload the painting of them in kind of a, oh, what's the word? Time lapse. Okay, I'm loving how the top of that sunflower is looking. It's really neat. Explain that again. Okay, hold on. Let me turn the music down just a little bit. This one's not as chill of a vibe. It's pretty though. Okay. What do you mean no more art? I'll keep doing art. Yeah, Brakud, I was just thinking that. When it's nice calm music, it's not too loud, but this one that's a little bit anxious really is a bit much. Okay. I'm not going to quit art. I'm just not going to live stream art on a regular basis. I will make art videos still on YouTube. And maybe I could do a big art stream like once a month. I love your art stream. I'm sorry, Nashi. It's hard. It's so hard to focus on multiple things, and most of my viewers are not particularly interested in the art, and I don't know. Okay, so I'm really gonna darken up the barn now. A little bit darker than I wanted. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this really dark, and then I chicken out. You can still be sad. It's okay. I understand. I just hate to make you sad. It's been really fun and really good for me, and I have painted so many things that I never would have painted before. Okay, I'm gonna do a dry brush on this. Okay, I'm gonna get my brush loaded with Payne's Gray, and then dab it just a little bit so that I know it's, and then try, I'm not great at dry brushing. But that's why we do it, to get better at it. It's actually working quite well. It's crazy how much easier some of these techniques are on expensive paper, sadly. I wish it was just this easy on poor quality paper, but it isn't. Guess there's a reason they charge so much for it. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and darken up the eaves on the barn too. Not gonna be too careful with... Yeah. Okay. I'll give it some more shadow in a little bit when it's dry. Right now, I should let it just be chill. I need to remember that the barn is not the focus here. This big pretty sunflower is. That might be, that bookmark might be done. Let's see. I do have people who join my community because of the art streams, and I hope to have people continue to do so. I'm just not going to do it on live stream as often. Let's see. I want to darken up down at the bottom here because I want to increase the contrast between this leaf and what's going on in the background here. So I'm just going to be mostly pretty random with the colors that I get going on here. Gonna get a green, but again, a darker green. I want also a contrast up here at the top, so I'm going to add some dark right around the outside of this leaf. Maybe right there. Good. Now I'm going to get some yellow. Bracood, a bear. I saw a picture of a bear that I was like, it gave me that feel of I could be a scary bear or a protective mama bear. But I liked its I liked its feel. Okay, I'm gonna add in some yellows and let them bleed around in this pretty red. You feel like you're being dumped? No, Nashi. I don't dump people. I got married. I don't have to do that anymore. Oh, I hated dumping people. That was always hard. I was not very good at it. Over here on the right side, we already have a nice dark line of the stalk of the sunflower. So I'm gonna get a green that's dark enough to kind of match the right side, but I don't want a lot of the browns over there because I want it to look different than that stalk. Although I do have to remind myself that this is not fine art. This is a bookmark. It's okay. Ah, blue bear. I know, it's a really cool bear. Let me... Oh, I can't text it to you because my phone is my camera. Forgot. Okay. What else does this need, if anything? Does it need anything? I don't think it does. I think it's really pretty. It has a very cool kind of stained glass window feel. The only thing that I'm considering adding would be kind of the same outline style that I did on the sunflower to the barn. No, I think it's good. I'll leave it there and see how I feel about it later. But yeah. I think it looks quite good. I want to take a darker brown and add it to these veins. And then the underside of that to make it look more rounded. I know that I say this every time this song comes up, but I love it so much. You got a friend in me when the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. Can't sing that low. Okay. Actually, Bracood, you will probably get a kick out of this. This song always makes me think of... For a while, I had this song as a ringtone for one of my friends. And I think it's a choir concert that both you and I were in at state conference. And we were like the whole choir was sitting on the pulpit. And my phone started going off in my purse. And I was singing this song. And everybody was quiet, so it wasn't very loud, but the women sitting next to me could totally hear it and looked at me, and I'm like, it's mine. And I didn't know if I should get in my purse and try to silence it, because if I got in my purse, it was going to get louder as it was unmuffled. Oh my gosh. So this song always makes me think of that. It was so... Yep. Yeah, that was a stressful. Okay. I think the sunflower one might be done. It looks really good. No, it's not done. Oh my gosh. I want to make the petals look a little bit more like you can see petals behind them. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, I'm gonna take the same orange color that I used. Yeah, it was great, Bracood. I ended up just leaving it and waiting until it quit because I was sure that if I got it out, people would be able to hear it. But that way, at least only like a couple people next to me, like, yeah, I think it was Amanda, guy's sister. I don't remember their last name, but I know that I think she was next to me and looked at me kind of funny, and I'm like, yes, it's mine. Okay, so I'm gonna make it look like we're seeing shadows of... Well, okay, correction. I'm gonna try to make it look like we're seeing shadows of this leaf petal. Bigger and stronger too, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. Just me and you, boy. That's actually working pretty well. It looks pretty cool. And the only reason this isn't copyrighted is because it's a version of it's a cover. Good. I think that's kind of getting the feel across of the petals being shadowed from the back. Hey, always. Oh, Nashi. Nashi messaged you, huh? Look, always, I'm doing sunflowers because I thought you would like sunflowers. I couldn't decide what to paint, and I was like, I want to do some sort of flower. And I thought, okay, Nashi, always likes sunflowers. And so if she shows up, she will like them. Yeah, I think this is actually working pretty well. I'm impressed with how, the shadow, how it looks like there are petals back behind. This one I got kind of like a grayish color. I wasn't going for gray. Okay, these ones. It's interesting how well defined. I've never really looked that closely. You have a red phone for emergencies. That's funny. You guys. Sunflower petals must be pretty thin. I've never really examined them that closely. I learn a lot of things about what shapes and stuff the world is from painting it. But yeah, I guess they must be pretty darn thin for the sun to shine through like this. I'm not. Oh, I'm not dumping anybody. I'm not gonna have scheduled art streams. Unless, I mean, I could do a scheduled art stream earlier on in the day or something on, you know, like maybe once a month. But I'm also going to start a YouTube art channel where I upload videos of art that I have done. And that'll be nice, right? Lane. Always, I just feel like I need to focus more on most of my viewers are not interested particularly in art. It's not my main audience. And I'm trying to reach a lot of people, or rather the people who need it, because I want to be a source of light and hope in their lives. And so I have sort of started this whole process on that video game that I play often. Not because it's a huge audience, but because it is a real source of unhappiness that doesn't have to be. It is a game, it's supposed to be fun, but there's a lot of anger and toxicity in that specific place. And I want to help with that. And so I'm gonna start making YouTube videos specifically for that are aimed at helping people not get so upset. They call it tilted in our video game world. And tilted is simply being frustrated and angry at the game, at people in the game, at whatever. Frustrated and angry. And I want to start making some videos that talk about how when you are tilted, when you are feeling this frustration and anger, there are some different places where you can interrupt these feelings. And usually it goes from, an event happens, and then the person interprets the event, and then based on those interpretations, they have feelings. And I mean, this is not particularly eloquently put yet, but it's I want to help here. I want people to have fun at this game again. And from here on out, I want to be an influence on people. Hopefully not just in this game. I'm using a lot of techniques that I've learned in certain self-help books, or in one really interesting book that my husband and I have been reading called X Etiquette. And it's about the etiquette of having a blended family, and having an ex in your life. And it's really been interesting because it's crazy how a lot of the techniques and advice that these doctors give are things about working with another person whose actions you can't control, and people sometimes in this video game, you can't control what other people do, but you can control what you do. And I'm hoping that my message, well, it's not my message, it's a message of how to be happier, really. I'm hoping that this message will spread and get to more people than those who just play this video game. But the video game is a really good place for me to kind of a springboard. Have a kind heart. How have your headaches been? My headaches have been actually very, very good. I've not had very many at all since getting this jaw thing going, and the ear pierces that I got. I don't know which is helping. I'm not gonna worry about which is helping. I'm just gonna be glad that something is. Oh, it's also probably helped a lot that around the same time I started doing this TMJ treatment, I also had the ear pierce done in the right spot, and I also, insurance finally quit arguing with me nearly as much, and so I was able to start getting my medicine more regularly, which has been helpful. Ooh, I like that. I just put some green in there and it looks really cool. When you look at the reference photo, you can see that it's kind of got this inner circle of green. The only thing I wish I could still add were some kind of yellow spots here, but okay, gonna look at that on stream. See, that looks great. Ah, I'm actually really pleased with the background here. You can totally tell that this is one big sunflower up close and then a field of sunflowers sunflowers in the background. Okay, is there anything else that it needs? I think it's good. I think it's really quite good. You're happy? Thank you, always. I'm glad too. Okay. Well, that means I'm ready to do another bookmark, because I think that one's done. I think it looks really good. When I look at it on the stream to see what it looks like from kind of a different perspective, it looks so funny to me because this throws me off. So I'm gonna cover that up for a second and look at it as just a bookmark. Well, it kind of looks like that leaf is coming out towards us. The shadows on the petals are really neat though. I love that. Okay. Another bookmark. What should we aim for? Gonna come back over here to my Facebook group of free reference photos for artists. And instead of typing in sunflower, we are going to type in fruit. That's a classic. Definitely a classic. What about oh, violets? Yeah, we could do violets. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay. Violet. Those are not violets. Those are geraniums, and those are roses, and those are tulips, and those are daffodils, and those are grape hyacinths. There's a violet, an African violet. Looks like. These are irises. Okay, these are pulling up things that are just violet in color. Ooh, that blue jay's cute. He's like, who you looking at? Oh, that's cute. I love the reflection of that cat that somebody did. That's awesome. Its perspective is kind of off. But that's okay. But it's really cool. I would be pleased if I'd done that. Oh my goodness, those poppies are gorgeous too. Oh, so pretty. Okay, let's try typing in maybe just violet flower. And that way, that might narrow it down a little bit more. Okay. Oh my goodness, look at these mice in the poppies. Oh, that's so cute. Man, I don't know that I could paint that and have it come across, but maybe I could. Oh, they're so cute. Oh, and these ones in the roses. Oh gosh, this one looks like he's about to fall. Oh, and these ones are on cotton. How did these people get these pictures? Okay, that little mouse on the cotton is so cute. Look at his little face. Oh. Okay. I think I'll do one of these guys on the roses. We'll see how that works. Okay, let's see. Let's make this big. And see if I can figure this one out. Ooh, I can zoom in. Okay. All right, that's pretty good. I might do, so since it's a bookmark and long, it is Simon. Oh my gosh. Okay, if this is Simon, is this Simon's little girlfriend? This might be Simon and Samantha. I think I'm gonna put this mouse on this stem so that they are on the same one and both climbing up, because that way the bookmark will be, I can make it kind of more elongated. Man, and I can just go for it without any drawing whatsoever. Oh my gosh, those little guys are cute. Look at his little whiskers. Little whiskers. Okay. That's as close as I can get. I'm actually gonna see if I can kind of crop it in a way that, okay, this is good. Yeah. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Okay, I'm also gonna make this stem straighter. And, I don't know, it's kind of cute that it's crooked. And this one's little tail is helping balance. Oh my gosh, and their little toes. Alright, let's give it a go. Worst thing that can happen is it looks bad and no big deal. Okay, do I like the colors? Yeah, I like the colors a lot. I like the warm tones in the mice's fur? Mice's fur? I don't know. Okay, I like the warm tones in the mice, in the fur of the mice, and the really warm kind of rose colors. All right, we're just gonna go for it. See what happens. I think I will turn this around so that I can do it on yeah, we're just gonna do it on this edge. What I really should do is actually cut these off so that I don't have to be... Nope, we're not working that hard. Okay. So, are those mini roses? I don't know. They must be a small, a miniature rose. Otherwise, those would be some honkin' big mice. Yeah, they must be. All right, so let's think about what colors I want. I think, do I want to keep the roses as these peach? I do. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the palest or lightest color of hue in the roses. And it's probably this kind of warm yellow. So I'm gonna get this. What is this one? I think this is my cadmium yellow. Yeah, this is, I don't remember which of these is my cadmium yellow and my cadmium yellow pale, because frankly, I don't really know the difference. They look pretty much the same no matter what I do. So we're gonna use this one. And, okay. I'll have one mouse be down here, the other mouse be right about here, and the roses be here. Okay, so we're gonna say, all right, I'm gonna look at the shape of the rose that's right above. Okay, what's Simon's girlfriend's name? No, I can't do it. I have to draw out a little bit. I'm just afraid I'll screw it up if I don't. That's okay. I can draw. I can draw. I have to remind myself. I can draw. Okay. So, one mouse is here. Here's her little head. Her little ear. Her little mousy chin. The white on her belly. Little belly goes down like this. And then her backside wraps around like this. That's really faint for you guys, isn't it? Let me see if I can get that to show up a little bit better. Okay, so here she is. Then we've got cute little butt. Where's the rose stem coming through here? I want the rose stem coming right through about here. Good. Okay, then we've got her little feet, like right here. and then would wrap up underneath here. That would be kind of her heel. You can't see? Dang. All right, then I'm gonna switch to my darker pencil. Here's her little ear. Her little back. Okay, can you see better now, always? We're gonna say, okay, this rose branches off like right here. Which is really cute because her other little paw is like in here. And it actually wraps right along there. And then this one kind of goes down here. Okay, then I'd better start the tail. Comes over like, it's a really long tail. I don't think I realized how long a little mouse tail is. I love how it looks it's so obvious that she's trying to balance there. She's hanging on for dear life. She is. She's so cute. Hey, camera, focus. Let me see if I can get it to focus. There we go. Huh, it really doesn't want to focus that closely. Move it back a little bit now that it's darker. See if that helps. Okay. So her little skull would go back to about here. Okay, her little back would go out over here. Good. And then we actually see some darker fur back there. Her head's about 1/3 of her body. I think her head's not big enough here. Make her little head a little bit longer this way. Okay. Yep, that looks better. There we go. She is no longer Samantha the Pinhead. Okay, her little eye. Oh, thank you for the follow. Okay, her little eyeball looks like it's right about here. And her little nose. My gosh, she's cute. There's a little pink mouse nose. Okay, then the other mouse we're putting on this, and this is Simon. Simon here. Huh, he's actually pretty straight. So here's his nose. We'll have him coming along here. Here's his fur. Here's the nose. His little tiny ear. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's just going right up that rose. I want to make sure that he's about the same proportions as she is. If we're looking at this head, that looks like it's about 1/3. 1 to 1, 2 to 3, 1 to 2 to 3. So he would be, but he is all stretched out, so he might look a little bit different. Usually I would try to not make his back be such a straight line, but man, he is booking it up that rose, and yeah, and he's pretty darn straight. Okay, so here's his little foreleg. Goes in here. And it actually goes back a little bit. And then his belly comes right here. And he's got the photo's blurred because he's moving so fast. Look at his little hind leg. Okay. His little hind leg we're gonna have on here like this. And then his tail is just gonna go off the page. Oh my gosh. Yep. And we've got Rose over here like this. Oh, and look at that. There are little tiny mouse toes coming out from his right foot from behind there. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I gave Simon kind of a pinhead too. He needs to have his nose up here. And then his little nose comes in here, and then he needs more of a skull. Simon, you don't have to be a pinhead. Okay. I made his nose too long now. Okay. Nose needs to be at the same place. Skull needs to be a little bit larger. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm still not completely satisfied with the shape of that. Man, I wish I had a mouse skeleton. Their little skulls are so cute. Okay. Honestly, the distance from his little elbow here to the base of his body is really about half of the mouse. So let's look at this. That would mean that his nose needs to come all the way up here. There's that. And then there's his little body. Okay. Then his little nose goes pretty much straight back into mouse body, but he has a little head, or a little ear, about halfway up. And then another little ear on the other side. Like that. Something still looks really weird about his nose. This is like anteater mouse. Maybe that was it. Maybe it was too pointy. Yeah, that looks better. That looks more like a little mouse stretched out. Okay. Good. And then we will have this rose come down this way. This one comes this way. It's so cute. I want his behind to be a little bit rounder. There we go. That kind of gives more of a feeling of hips. Okay, so rose stem coming up like this, her ears behind. I'm gonna try painting the roses without drawing them first. This makes me really nervous but I'm gonna try. The mice I feel pretty comfortable about now. Okay, wait, so she's got her left hind foot up here, and her right hind foot is clear down here. And her little toes are gripping right here. Good. Okay. Let's see where Simon's little eyeball should be. It's about a little over, it's about right here. Yep. Good. Oh, what cute little mice. I look quick like she is falling. She's perched. She's a little perched mouse. I think she's cute. What is her name? Is her name Samantha? I just picked that because Simon is an S sound. All right, let's go for it. That's a good name. Okay, sounds good. She looks like a Samantha to me. All right, so I'm gonna get this yellow, and let me look at this rose. When I look at the shape of this rose, it's rounded on the base, and then it comes up, and I'm drawing with my paintbrush. That's what I am doing here. And then it comes pretty much straight up. Comes around here. Okay. Good. I think just to balance it out, I better have the roses coming up in the back as well. Because I don't think that a rose that's this miniature shaped could necessarily hold these two little mice. If it was just like one or two roses, I think it needs kind of those... Oh, what do they call those? Floribunda? Something like that. The roses that have the little set of multiple roses up here. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so that one will be there. We'll have another one up and behind. Might be able to make one like right up here. I'll look at the shape of this other rose here to try to get it looking good. And then other than that, I could have one coming off here. I don't think that's how roses grow. But I want to put another rose on here, so I'm going to... Here, I'll move my cursor. I am looking at this upper left rose that the cursor's on. This is the one that I'm going to paint right here. And it's really just kind of fairly flat top. And it kind of swoops back like this. Okay. Now I'm gonna go up to this one again. That is the rose directly above Samantha. This one. Samantha Mouse. I'm gonna get a probably I think this cadmium red deep. Okay, so on the left side of the rose there is kind of pretty dark right there. And then there is a almost dark that comes right along here. A real dark shape here. Then right along underneath there is pretty dark shape here. It goes all the way down here. Man, I hope this works. Then above that, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this downward. Above that, we've got another pretty dark shape right up along there. One kind of down through here, and some other dark places there. And then on this one we have a very dark place that's so I'm just trying to paint what I see here. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're gonna find out. See, for example, this triangle that I just made, it's much too large. But that's okay. I almost dabbed my brush off on my eraser. That wasn't gonna work. Okay, so I've now cleaned my brush off a little bit, and I'm gonna try to let this bleed a little bit. There's kind of another dark spot right there. Okay, so those are kind of my medium tones. Oh man. That is one thing that stream does for me though. It makes me try scary things. Art streaming. So let's see, this darkness here goes up like that. Alright, we're gonna let that dry off a little bit and put a good base in for the mice. So let's do Samantha first. I'm gonna dab off, I'm gonna use my eraser and remove a little bit of the graphite on her so that I can actually barely see it, but I see it enough to where I can see my shape. I'm gonna put this warmer brown along on her head. And right here. And then also on this side, real quick while that's wet, I'm gonna take just a tad of kind of a purplish and put it in here to give her nose that kind of pinkness. It needs a little bit more orange, really. Gonna dab orange there. There we go. Now I'm gonna get just some really light gray that goes kind of underneath here and sweeps down her belly on, let's see, there's a darker gray and then there's lighter gray. Gets a little darker going up here, kind of behind her ear. There's a little bit of more shape, so I'm gonna try to paint that in and let it bleed a little bit. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the brown and make sure that this spot's still wet. But I'm gonna get a more, let's see, it looks like a little bit more yellowish in her fur, a little warmer. Put that in there. Okay, down to her foot. Then we've actually got that pink again for her little foot. Oh, that's a cute little foot. So I'm just going to use this pink. It's not super obvious right now, but it's really just telling me what's going where. I'm going to get more of my Payne's gray. And that needs to... Ooh. Actually, I want that not there. Good. I want the gray to go pretty much just up here, because this would be her kind of hind leg. Okay. We've got a little bit of gray, then it goes back into the brown. My goodness, Samantha, you have so many pretty colors in your fur. It's a little bit annoying. Gonna put that brown back in there. And then right around her tail, it's brown still. Okay, but it is gray again. Okay, a little bit right here, and then kind of around her tail, it's gray. And let's see, what is it right under? Okay, it's actually white. So her little white belly there, I'm gonna put gray underneath, or well, behind her foot here. And then I'm just gonna dab to let it bleed in so that we can hopefully read that that's a little belly. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna make her little tail. I'm gonna take that pink again. I want to dab off that. I'm just bringing her little tail down here. It's so cute and pink. Oh my gosh. Okay, then I'm gonna get gray. My Payne's gray again. And just very carefully paint along the bottom side of her little tail. Nice. Okay, the first wash of Samantha the Mouse is complete and looks just fine. Okay. It's very lovely. The rose turned out amazing. Yeah, the rose is looking... I mean, it looks like a rose, which is good. I'm not done with it, but it's looking like a rose. Speaking of roses, we're going to move up to this one again. I forget which rose I was looking at to reference this one. I think it's the rose just on the picture that's just to the left. The one that's furthest on the left and bottom. So I'll move my cursor. This one right here. Okay. Gonna get my cadmium red again. And just get a lighter wash of it. I think there is a petal that's kind of darker here. Comes up there. Okay. And then, so this one I'm not gonna do too much of because we only see parts of it, but it looks like it's pretty dark there. Go ahead and gonna dab this one a little bit and let it bleed a little bit better than I did on the last one. I'm also gonna take the same really kind of dark pink red that I used on Samantha's tail and put in just a tad underneath here. There we go. Good. And then, okay, this one. Dang it, I forgot which rose I was referencing for this one. Oh, no I don't. I remember. It was this one. Okay, so with this one, let me see here. I'm gonna get red on my brush again. Say okay. We've got one going down here that's got kind of comes up like this. And then down here. Then it's got a pretty solid line here. Gonna dab that off. Try to lift it. Okay. Now I'm gonna add my really dark in here and hope that it bleeds a little bit better than it did on the other ones. All right. Then there is a petal that comes up like this and then kind of swoops backwards like that. Okay. Then it hits a petal over here. And then you drew a squirrel and you could not make his eyes look real. Yeah, man, eyes are hard. I don't know that I've ever made an eye that looks very real. I feel your pain. Let's see, about halfway down we have a petal that comes up like that. Okay. Then we have a darker kind of right in there like that. I want to see a picture of your squirrel though. Okay, at the very top we have a pretty dark back like that. And then some more right there. And just above this one we've got something, some sort of petal right there. And then it curls out there a little bit. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, that looks like a rose. Sorta. Okay, now I'm trying to think about how to give the roses more shape. Okay, let's not worry about that. Let's do Simon's fur. Okay, so he, I think, will be easier. It's interesting. He has... Okay, we're gonna start down here by his tail, because he's got browns. We want to work one side to the other so that it stays wet and kind of bleeds. So we've got a little brown in his fur here and kind of up here. Then he's a lot more gray than she is. That's kind of cool. Okay, I'm going to use Payne's Gray again for the grayer parts. It looks like there's darker gray for a little bit right here, and then it lightens up a little bit. I'm actually gonna go ahead and give it a flat wash right there at first. And then where there's kind of lighter... Oh my gosh, that scared me. Oh man, I really jumped there. That surprised me. Okay, I'm gonna try to drop out. Thank you for the sub. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna darken up the gray right here then, and the gray up along his back. And just let the white, the lighter part be there. He's so cute. Okay. Okay, and then it's brown. I'm trying. Okay, I'm gonna go around his little ear because I want to make it pink. I should have dabbed off some of the graphite on him as well, but you know, too late now. There we go. Okay, he's got more gray, kind of gray-brown on his head. And then kind of goes back into brown, but it's still not a super warm brown. Right around his little nose. Okay, there we go. And then where his little belly is pretty white, I'm still gonna use gray, but I'm not letting it be nearly as dark as the gray where I wanted to actually be gray. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and bring the gray up almost to the edge of his little ear, but not quite. I'm gonna make his ear a little bit more obviously pink on my painting than it is in the reference photo, because I think it'll be cute. Okay, we can't really see the pink of his nose, but we can see an ear behind here, but I want that to dry first so that it doesn't bleed together. Your eyes are so tired, but if it's your last scheduled paint stream, you don't want to miss it. Always, I will have more paint streams. I will announce them, I guess, in the Discord. I don't really have a better place, but my Discord channel does have that place for schedule. and I will come up with one day a month that I do a scheduled paint stream. And other than that, I will announce if I decide to do it. How does that sound? I know that Nashi doesn't have Discord, so he won't be able to see that. But but you could let him know, maybe? Okay, I want his little tail to be pink. I should have painted his tail along with his little behind here, but I kind of forgot while that was wet, so. His little front leg, I want it to also have the pink, and his little back leg to have the pink, but really they're basically white, so. And then I think I want to paint her little legs in pink too, so that I know where they are. Oh my gosh, those little guys are so cute. Oh, you dropped a glass and it broke. That sucks. No, I didn't ask you anything. I was just saying that I will have more scheduled paint streams because you guys have requested it so much. But they're going to be like maybe once a month. And I will announce it on my Discord in my scheduled place. Maybe I could come up with like the first Monday of every month or something like that. I'll figure it out. But I know that Nashi doesn't have Discord, so you're gonna have to share. Okay, I'm ready to do his little pink ear in the back. It's just a little bit above this ear. There we go. That pink is all that is required. Okay, so now let's see. You'll be happy to share it with him. Okay, sounds good. Thank you always. And I'll still see you guys on AJ's stream and stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna look at this rose and see where the most yellows are. And they're not up at the top. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let the orange parts I'm gonna spread that out a little bit up here at the top now that it's dried off. And then I'm gonna take kind of the darker pink. Okay, let's go ahead and put in the... Okay. Yes, and anytime you guys want something, like, here, if there's anything that you want specifically painted and, you know, you wanted a painting of whatever, I'd be happy to live stream that also. Because that would be good, or at least make a video of it. And then upload it. Like I said, I'm gonna make a YouTube channel. And that'll be good. Okay, so I'm gonna use this lighter green that we were using on the sunflower. And it's gonna go on the edge of the stem. Where does his little foot go? Oh, right, I'm making up this foot because it's too blurry in the picture because he was moving too fast. That's so cute. Okay. And then here, the light green also goes right along here. Okay, I need to leave space right there for her little toes. And then up this way. Okay, now before that dries, I'm going to get a darker green that's almost like a greenish brown. And make it move up here along the rows. Okay. That bled a little bit more than I thought it was going to, but that's okay. Right in here. I want it to be darker green under his little belly, because first of all, that'll make his fur look whiter there. And secondly, because it's in shadow, because he's got his little yeah. Okay. Little puffball. I know, they're so cute. My gosh. Okay. I'm gonna take... No, I probably shouldn't do too much detail on the mice yet. Okay. Back to the rows. This one is gonna come up like this. And then it hits kind of a leaf. Okay. The leaf is going to be a darker green here. I'm just gonna kind of indicate leaf. And then we have kind of a brown, I think those are called the, what, sepals? I don't remember. Kind of coming off the base there. And let's do the lighter green on this one. Do we need to leave any space for mouse feet or anything? No. Okay, this one, the mouse feet is all on the other side. So it goes off to this side. Right in there. And then there are little pink toes. Right here. Okay, that was way more pigment than I needed. So I'm just going to make a pink spot on the rose, and I might put in more detail when it dries, but it's going to indicate that. Okay. Then her little right hand is up here. Gonna make, again, a little pink spot. It's actually working pretty well to indicate where I need mouse digits. So let's do his toes right back here. Okay. I want to make sure that this looks like his leg is, like this is his heel. Okay. Yeah, good. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to show that they're little mice. Cute little mice. Okay, so this stem I want to come out from behind her right about here. Good. And I don't want it to actually change color that much. Okay, good. Then I'm gonna switch to kind of a darker gray as it moves up, and we're gonna let it kind of bleed into that. And then let's look at kind of some of the greens that are around some of these roses. We're gonna put one here. And let it kind of bleed back like that. It kind of folds over. The one that I'm looking at on this page kind of folds over then, and it has something back there. And underneath the rose itself, there's more of a green one that goes kind of down like this. We'll let that come up, and good. I'm gonna spread the brown downward. Good. Okay. I think I probably need... Okay, this one. This rose needs to be attached somehow. Let's paint one of its, almost 1:30, your eyes are heavy. Okay, that's okay always. I'll see you again soon. Miles of smiles, thank you always. I'm getting pretty tired too. I'm gonna stop art here in a little bit. Probably will not finish the mice tonight, but I will make a YouTube video that does the whole thing always, start to finish, of these mice. That'll be the it'll be the first art video I put up, and I will send you the link. Okay, we're gonna do a sepal here. Nashi, is that the right word? Are these little like leaves that wrap up around the flower? I think that sepal is the correct word for those, but it's been a long time. Okay, so that one's gonna go up like that. And then I will have something coming down here. Gonna paint that there, and I should make it a little bit darker, and then we can make real darks under here while it's good. Hugs to you and the goats. Oh, I forgot about Nashi's goats. That's fun. There we go. Somewhere here I need to paint some leaves. Because right now these roses would be having some trouble with their photosynthesis. Maybe the mice ate all the leaves. Probably not so lucky. Okay, let's make... Looks like there's a leaf that comes up. And then... Okay, let's be bold, Garnet. It's time to be bold. Get some green on there. There we go. That kind of looks like I was thinking. Well, that's what it looks like now. Okay. Can make another one kind of off this way, because I think roses, when I think about the roses in my garden, they usually seem to have either sets of 3 leaves or 5 leaves to a little stem. I don't know what you call that, but that's what they do. Because I know that I try not to deadhead them to get them to grow. I wait until I'm above a 5 leaf spot. So that's how I know that one. Okay, let's give this other rose some leaves as well. Really, their leaves are pretty dried up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Looks leaf-like. Let's get a yellow and dab it right down the middle so that it can bleed a little bit, and maybe a cooler green. Oh, too much water, too much water. Maybe a darker green. Right along the edges of that one. Okay. I think we need some leaves right down here too. So I'm gonna look at the leaves that are on the painting right by Samantha's hind feet and make some here. Oh, another thing I should do is make the little nodes. I think that's what they are called. Let me see. I'll put them here on the stem. Smooth, Gertie, smooth. She's knocking things over. There we go. We'll put a little note there. Okay, so right here by this node, I'm going to make leaves coming out. And then it curls up. Okay, that's pretty. It's quite pale leaf, but it's here. And it kind of comes back like that. And this side here, we're going to outline her little tail. Gonna let the green of that bleed on back through the little stem, I guess. Then we have one leaf going downward. that starts right about here. It wobbles this way. Then it wobbles out again. Okay. Then it starts to come up like this. Then it actually has here where it's kind of shaped funny like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of a warm brown into that leaf while we're at it, or a yellow or green, just to give it some variety. And it looks like the other one we're gonna have come off like this and be behind Simon. Okay. Gonna give it some darkness in there too, so it can bleed a little. Yeah, I want this leaf to be pointier. That's pretty. Okay. On this leaf, we're gonna give it a little bit more dark green. I want to make sure that the lines of the veins of this leaf are not mimicking the line of the mouse tail, because they are not connected. Okay. Good. Okay, this one I want to give some lines now. It's not quite dry enough yet. Need to wait. Alright, I can look at these leaves up here and work on them. They're dry. Also, I'm avoiding working on the roses because they scare me. Okay. I forget which leaf I was looking at that... Oh, yes, I see it. This leaf is kind of... We're just seeing the back of this leaf. And so I'm gonna do that and then just connect those. See if that made any sense. Yeah, it kind of looks like it worked. This one, I'm imagining the back of the sleeve here. Maybe this curls under a little. Then we'll connect. And really, this could have some veins shooting off here. Just a few indicating what's going on here. Okay. All right. I think that I am gonna... I think I'm gonna stop for the evening. All of these need to dry anyway. Ooh, except for that leaf. I want to give that leaf some veins. That looks good. Yeah, that actually looks really neat. I like how that turned out. Let me see here. This one has kind of a part of the back of it that you can't. There we go. That looks good. It looks wrinkly like rose leaves are. Okay. So, everybody, let's zoom out for now and look at what we did. You're welcome, Nashi. It was so much fun. Thank you for being here. We have Simon and Samantha in the process of becoming mice. And we have the sunflower bookmark here, which I'm liking way more now that I look at it. I think it's really pretty. I love the colors. Okay. Okay, this has been bothering me every time I see this specific bookmark that we did last time. I want the edges of these birch to be darker. Or aspen, I don't know which they are. But it's bothered me, so I'm just gonna fix it. I don't think it's gonna take me very long. Okay. It just needs some color. Needs some color in there. See, this is gonna help it a lot. Yeah, already that looks way better. It was just too pale before. So I know we didn't even talk about these aspen tree ones today, but they need help. So we're gonna give it to them. I was just too gentle with them last time. That's what happens. They get weak. Also, I didn't have this Payne's Gray, and it's exactly what I want to use here on these. Yeah, it's already so much better. Okay. The back one also needs to be darker, but I don't want it to be as dark as the one in the front. Although they're pretty close to each other, so it doesn't really matter that much. I like this little chunk there. Okay, this is looking a little bit too patterned, so I'm gonna wobble some out right there. And then, a little bit of yeah, that looks pretty good. Gonna let that one bleed kind of back here. I also want this to be darker. This branch just looks weird. I want it to be... Oh, this is such a cute wall, so I like this one. What we did last time on the birch or aspen, whatever these are, was a great underlayer for what we're doing now. Okay. Now maybe just a little bit up at the top of this one. I love how wobbly these trees look. They look good. And then just a little bit at this one, but not as dark. Bum, bum. Good. This branch looks nice and firmly connected to the tree. This one, I think if I take some dark and wrap it right along there. Yep, much better. That helped a ton. This one is coming out from like right along the edge of the tree. So there we go. And then this one is back behind the tree. Okay, then this one is also behind the tree. So I'm gonna, and it's behind that one. Okay, yep, good. Now those won't bug me every time I walk in this room. Because they sure have been. Okay, great. All right. Nashi, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being my biggest art patron. Ooh, I could do that. Maybe art streams could be what I start with on Patreon. Or art videos. I don't know. I will think. I will let you know. I will let Nashi know, or let Always know, and ask her to tell you what's going on. And it'll be good. And Nashi, if you, I will pack this one up for you. And if you want anything else on bookmarks, let me know by all means, because I've got another 5 here that are ready to go, and you know, shipping will be the same for 5 versus 1. So Nashi, thank you for being here. I know that Always is gone already, and that's okay, but I want to thank her as well. Everyone, thank you for being here. Brakud, I hope you're sleeping. Everyone, please remember that you are a priceless gem of infinite strength and potential. Treat yourself and others accordingly, and I will see you next time. Thank you for being here. Bye, everybody. Kat wants to say bye, too. You want to see Kat? She's very, very engaged with the whole thing. Here she is. She's been very, very helpful. Yep. That's what this face is. This is the face of helpfulness. Yeah. Oh, that's a big yawn. Okay. Bye, everyone.